peg to help. It is such a balm to ease the burdens of a fellow being. That is what I must remember. That, and Amos's fingertip poised at his lips when he sees my anger rising up to overtake me. For Mrs. Carter's sake, I redoubled my efforts. With her zeal fueled by sorrow and mine by sympathy, we finished all the boxes in time. Work soothes more than words. The sound of my girls' merriment reached me before my hand touched the front door latch. What a wealth I have in daughters! They are a richness and a comfort beyond measure. Sometimes I think it is the way they flutter around me each night that renews my vigor to return to the relief rooms each day. Cold, sickness, hunger, and deprivation, all of it accompanied by some mix of shame and indignity, anger and bitterness, dominate my daylight hours. To be pampered so, after being immersed in the misfortunes of others, reminds me that the burdens others carry do not belong to me, no matter how heavily they sit upon my mind. Aside from my time with my diary each evening, the moments that most soothe me are those, like tonight, when I can gather my girls around me and feast on one of Amos's letters. When I read his words aloud, it is easy to imagine we are together again. This one affected us all more than usual. Christmas, no doubt. A week of ordinary days without him is easier to bear than a single night and day that happens to be marked December 24th and 25th on the calendar. Still, there is more to it than that. The urge to do and be our best in the face of Amos's daily sacrifice is irrepressible. I am thankful my girls' burdens are still so light that they do not have to bear the added weight I do. Vanity, shyness, and selfishness are all worthy dragons to conquer. Only Jo does not recognize her true burden. The fire in her, what she calls being rough and wild, is not what worries me. I would not tame her of that. The way she flares, though, when something ignites her anger, makes me wince. I have singed too many of the people I love with the sparks of my own temper. Sometimes I believe the flames that burned my face and hand as an infant took up permanent residence within me. The money I had hoped would arrive in time for the girls' Christmas was not enclosed in Amos's letter, but that is of no consequence compared with the gift of his safety. The little books I slipped under the girls' pillows tonight dovetailed so smoothly with their father's words that it is as if he and I had chosen them together. It is a comfort to think that our thoughts remain united, even with all these miles between us. Nevertheless, I cannot help wishing I could give Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy a brighter Christmas, with treats and baubles that have no other purpose but pleasure. Frivolity is such a lovely decadence, but the rag money goes only so far. Every day I spend helping the destitute reminds me how fortunate our family is. We have wants, but no needs. It is hard to find contentment in that, though, when you are as young as my girls are and have never known real need. Especially at Christmas, when the shop windows are filled with all manner of delectable things. My own eyes cannot resist the displays of linen handkerchiefs ringed in whole inches of Brussels lace. Some day, perhaps, there will be time and money for pretty things again. Tonight, I pray Amos is safe, and that the Lord may spare him a little merriment this Christmas. December 25th, 1861. A day of perfect generosity. A knock came at the back door while the sky was still gray. A big boy of 9 or 10 years, yet before I could help myself I was crouched before him with my handkerchief, wiping the yellow trickle from his nose that had half frozen to his upper lip. "Please, ma'am," he said, "have you any milk? Mooty can't get out of bed and the baby is shrieking." "On Christmas Day the baby shall have cream," I told him, and poured a little pitcher full. His fingers were so stiff and purple that they fumbled as he threaded them through the handle. "Have you a fire on the hearth to warm that?" I asked. He bit his lip and shook his head. I whisked my wrap from its peg and put my woolen mitts on his brittle fingers. "I'd like to wish your Mooty a Merry Christmas," I said, "and bring her some firewood for a present." On to a sledge went 6 stout logs and 2 handfuls of kindling. The boy, his name is Carl Hummel, refused to let me pull it and shouldered the rope with both hands.